really ought to thank you, Dolores.
And that was Westworld's finale. The first season signed off with twists, turns, more answers and a bloody massacre to top it all off. You began to wonder early on in the show if it was asking too many questions for its viewers. The amount of theories that were out there were just exponentially growing, and fears began to amount whether or not we would get satisfying conclusions to all that was going on. Well, if you still had any doubts, now they should be laid to rest. Westworld's finale was the best episode in the show's first run. Close behind it was episode 7 with the Bernard reveal at the end, but overall this episode was a thrilling ending to the show's first season. And it was a 90-minute episode as well, so HBO really are spending the big bucks to make an impression. And that they definitely did. And the big story that came out of the episode is that Dolores is now fully aware and in control of everything she does. She found the centre of the maze. Her awareness, the voices that guided her this entire time were that of her own. She finally understood what Arnold tried to unlock within her, and the most surprising part of all, Ford wanted the exact same thing. That's right. The villainous evil mastermind creator behind Westworld itself had actually warmed to Arnold's point of view and wanted the hosts to have a true consciousness. He wanted them to have their own freedom and have the ability to make their own choices. Ford realised his partner's past mistakes. Arnold sat down as he had Dolores shoot him in order to evolve. The problem there is she didn't have a choice. She was told to do it. And that is where Ford stepped in. The whole ending scene was just phenomenal. You knew something big was about to go down, but I don't think anyone would have seen this coming. Dolores found her awareness and in making her own choice, shot Ford through the back of the head. I wish I hadn't seen the Dolores as Wyatt theory a couple of weeks ago, because in truth I would have never guessed it myself. It only started becoming a little more apparent as the story concentrated heavily towards the ending. But either way, I had no clue what was to follow. And yes, confirmed, William is the Man in Black. Not too surprising going off the recent episodes, but it still paid off brilliantly, and thank God they didn't leave that reveal till the end of the episode. They let that cat out of the bag quite early on here actually, around the midway point, as all this time William and Dolores' journey was something that occurred over 30 years ago. She was retracing her steps on another loop, hoping that this would be the one where she found the centre of the maze. Evan Rachel Wood was wonderful throughout. Poor girl must have cried bucket loads in this episode alone, but it was gratifying as heck watching her fight back against William's violence. I actually thought for a second that she might kill him. Yeah, I know he's confirmed for season 2 and all, but TV shows announce stuff like that all the time just to throw you off guard. All this time, William has been hunting for the centre of the maze. And how tragic. He was told time and time again that the maze wasn't built for him. His journey was futile, as he literally couldn't access it. His centre of the maze was nothing more than that toy he found, much to Ford's amusement. In the end though, their goal was the same, and they got exactly what they wanted in the form of a real danger within Westworld. I don't think I've ever seen anyone more happy on screen than Ed Harris when he was shot in the arm. That grin gave him what he sought after for so long, and yes, he's surviving that massacre, no doubt. And whilst back at HQ, Maeve did release Hector and Armistice to cause a massacre of their own. Damn, some of those kills were brutal, and it was hilarious to see their reaction to holding a real-world gun for the first time. Their joy being expressed as they gunned down wave after wave of guards was one of the highlights of the episode. But again, I find it extremely bizarre that Felix cared not a bit for any of his co-workers. An explanation could be that Felix is a host, it would get rid of a lot of odd choices, but yes, I know Maeve did say that he wasn't one of them. You never know though, we were told that someone accessed her code in order for her to make all those story changes. And for me, the only choice there is that it had to be Ford. So if Ford planned it, perhaps Felix was part of his plan all along in helping Maeve get to the stage she's at. And after she went back for her daughter, despite knowing the truth, it showed us that deep down, she cared about her memories. And next time we continue, hopefully Maeve will succeed where her story takes her.
It was when Arnold died, when I suffered, that I began to understand what he had found. To realize I was wrong.
Overall, for Westworld's Season 1 finale, I would give it a high 9 out of 10. The best episode without a doubt this season gave us William as the Man in Black, Dolores finding the centre of the maze, and Ford signing out on his final story. The twist in that he warmed to Arnold's vision and saying that he was right all along paid off masterfully. I wouldn't have seen that coming until it slapped me in the face. I was convinced Ford was the big bad overlord wanting control of everything. In a sense, that was what he was doing, but only because it was what they had to go through and suffer in order for them to advance to the inner circles of the mind. Dolores cracked the code and became the first host to be truly self-aware. Again, Arnold programmed Dolores and asked her to kill him, and in that was his mistake. She didn't have a choice where this time Ford let her choose whether or not to pull the trigger. To have Sir Anthony Hopkins bow out of Westworld now would be a gigantic shame. When you have heavyweights like him in your shows, there's always this little niggling feeling in the back of your mind that he could be limited to just a couple of episodes or one season. And in saying that, I could have never seen Ford being dethroned from his kingdom until that twist about him. He was so far ahead, so calculated in everything, that can you really believe that he isn't coming back? He said that it was his final story, that's right. But has it really ended with his death? I know it's probably me just hoping that he shows up again later down the line, as let's face it, more Anthony Hopkins is always better, but just think about this. If the journey went the way he planned it to, which I imagine it did, maybe Ford created his own horse that was designed to take that bullet. We still don't know if that horse being built in Ford's basement has any significance. I was surprised when it wasn't Teresa, so it could still play a vital role. It could be nothing, of course. It could be the other way around, like with the horse version of Ford being built in order to take his place. But out of the three, I would say option 1 is the most likely and the most satisfying. Whether or not that is the case, we'll have to wait and find out. Oh, and guess what? No Elsie or Stubbs. I was annoyed at first because I wanted to know about both of their fates, but after the ending I sort of understood why we didn't know anything about them. With this uprising on Westworld's hands, Elsie and Stubbs are both out of the firing line. For all we know, Ford and Bernard could have had them moved out purposely, but it is a long time to find out what's in store next for the both of them, if they're even both alive. There's just so much to ponder for the future of Westworld, as 2018 looks set to be the year when the show returns. And final note, there is a post-credit scene if you happen to have missed it. So if you did, go back and watch it. All we know for now is that those violent delights have violent ends. So, what did you think about Westworld's finale, and what was your favourite episode from the season? Let me know down in the comments. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed the review. And I'll see you on the next one.